Joining us now, presidential candidate here live in New Hampshire, former governor of Virginia, one of my favorite governors of all time, a man on a mission. He's not giving up. He's fighting. Governor Jim Gilmore. Governor, great to have you back on the John Fredericks Show.
John, I hear that people all across Virginia are flooding to the John Fredericks Show because of the voice of Virginia, right?
When you get on, my ratings go up like crazy.
Well, they're
Governor.
supposed to. That's
I
right.
know, because you're an iconic figure in this state.
Well, thank you.
And you've been fighting. Now, I gotta say one thing right off the bat. If Jim Gilmore was president of the United States, there is no question our federal debt and deficit would go down. You know why? Because he's staying with us at the Super 8 Motel by the airport. When I saw him in the lobby today,
He's got
I'm
a
saying,
penthouse suite.
there's a guy that I want as president, because he's going to be
frugal,
slashing budgets like crazy.
Hey, look, it's the free breakfast. It means everything, you know? Yeah, it's a really nice honey bun and coffee.
That's
really
right.
good, yeah.
It's not good for the waistline, but when you're svelte governor like yourself, you've got a little opportunity to do that.
That day will come. Okay.
They're talking about tightening the belt.
It's already happened for me. So, Governor, you're out here. You're still fighting. We respect that. And plan now. I mean, you look at the poll numbers. You got ousted from the debate Saturday night. What's the plan?
Yeah, but that's rigging the election. That's all that is.
It really is, isn't it?
It's rigging the election.
We thought Fiorina got screwed as well.
Yeah. It's an effort here for the press to decide who they think the candidates ought to be.
But that's not fair at all.
Well, it's un-American, actually. It's not. Look, I'm not going to sit here and whine to the people of Virginia about this. I can't control that kind of thing. But I will say this. This is my message. The people of the United States, starting here in New Hampshire, but also in Virginia, we got a great primary coming up in Virginia. They don't have to be told what to do as to who they ought to vote for or who they shouldn't vote for. And I'm offering a reasonable, mainstream, conservative, sound record approach for the people of the United States, and we're starting here in New Hampshire. And the people have the right to choose who they're going to vote for and who not they're going to vote for. If you're denied the ability to get on the platform and explain your case, that's rigging the system, and I'm not for that. I'm for people having a chance to make their case.
How did we get to this junction when media decides who's in a debate? I've never seen this.
Well, it's really wrong. The Republican National Committee did the wrong thing. They outsourced the nomination to the media, which means the media now, CNN, MSNBC, Fox, and some of the broadcast networks are going to manipulate the system in order to make themselves the most money. Yeah. And that's not really what this is about. This is about offering the right ideas to the people of the United States. But look, that's okay. I was in the undercard debate in Des Moines last week.
Yeah, you did great.
By all reports, I won the debate. Well, and I would expect to win the debate because I know what I'm talking about. I thought you won
that debate. I also, as you know, I said I was live in Cleveland. I thought you won the Cleveland debate. Yeah. I thought you won it hands down. Everybody said Fiorina won. She had a good night, but I thought you had the most substance of anybody there. I really thought after that debate you would start moving up.
Well, we were moving up.
Yeah,
we actually
got cut out of the other debates.
And then it got cut out of the other debates. We were moving up in the polling, and we were running ahead of the last 4 or 5 people and beginning to move forward. But then the media cut that momentum. By the way, after Des Moines, they're calling it Gilmentum. Have you heard that? Gilmentum, yeah.
Right. What is it?
Gilmentum is what they were calling it after
there you
Des
go.
Moines.
Gilmentum.
But when then at that point they nationally publicized debates and then cut people out of the debates, what they're communicating to the people of the United States is they're not real candidates. Well, I am a real candidate. I'm the only veteran in this race. I'm the one who has the experience in foreign policy.
You are the only veteran.
Pardon me?
You are the only veteran.
Yeah, I'm the only veteran in the race. I've served in the United States Army in the 70s as an intelligence agent stationed in Germany during the Cold War. Can you imagine, John, that we are getting ready to elect a person to be president of the United States that never served in the military at all? They don't understand veterans. I'm running on national security and the experience and credentials to address that issue. Veterans' rights, I'm the only veteran in the race, and gun rights. People of the United States want their Second Amendment rights. I'm standing for it. I'm a board member of the National Rifle Association. And if I make that case to the people of this country, I'll be the nominee and I'll be the president. And I'll do what I've done in Virginia. I'll cut taxes. I'll balance the budgets. I'll provide good executive leadership. I was the governor during the 9/11 attack. People of Virginia remember that. And my message over the radio today is, remember, we have a primary in Virginia, and Virginians have an opportunity to have a sound choice from Virginia to be in the national discussion, the national debate, to be the president. So this is the first chance they've had in a long time to do that.
Are you glad that Virginia got rid of that pledge, that loyalty oath? You think that was the right thing to do?
Yeah, I think so.
Was
it's okay with me either way, frankly. I think that the Republicans want to have some integrity within their own system, but at the same time, we want to attract people in. I think it's okay. The party made that decision. It's all right with me either way.
What are you looking to do here in New Hampshire? You're out campaigning. You're working hard. Do you have a goal? What would make it a good night tomorrow night for your presidential campaign?
I'll be recognized by the voters of New Hampshire. I don't need to set down a number. I need to set down, what I need to do is be recognized by the people in this state. I'm here, this is the 21st trip to New Hampshire that I'm on right now. And that's been going back for over a year. Multiple days each time, multiple events each time. We've done over 100 events in New Hampshire. Be recognized by the people for what I am. A former chief executive of a place like Virginia, somebody who was tested during the crisis of 9/11, somebody who's an actual United States Army veteran. I'm the only veteran in the race. Somebody who actually stands for the Second Amendment principles that the Virginians and people in New Hampshire believe in. You asked me a question, what does it take? I want to be recognized by the people in the state, and then I can move on to South Carolina, into the other states, and into my own home state of Virginia, and get some delegates and go to the national convention, or what I suspect is going to be a divided up national convention.
You know, we think it is also. I think it's going to be an open convention. I think it's going to be the first time that a nominee doesn't go in there with it locked up since, 1976 in the Kansas City convention, where neither Ford or Reagan had a majority going in. I think that's going to happen. I mean, that just opens it up to anybody, because everybody's released on the second ballot, right?
Yeah, sure. I'd like to see the nomination turn on credentials, experience, and goals for the United States, and somebody who can actually carry out those goals. And, I'm a responsible, reasonable Virginia conservative. I'm not a nut the way that some of these people are. And, and at the same time, where I stand against this march to socialism that the Democrats have been taking us down. A lot of Democrats in my state of Virginia are abandoning this idea of a Clinton-Bernie Sanders choice and are beginning to vote for Republicans in the primary. And I'm looking forward to that too. As you know, I had bipartisan support when I cut the car tax in Virginia. I ran on cutting taxes in Virginia, and I did it. And people want somebody at this point who will go into national office and keep their word. I'm that candidate.
Did you have a chance, Governor, to watch Saturday's debate?
I did. I did watch the debate.
I thought
there were some situation comedies that were competing, but I decided to watch the debate.
I really, there were other situation comedies that were competing.
That's right.
I really thought Senator Rubio was really exposed Saturday night as a lightweight. Do you care to comment on that? I mean, because you said earlier about, one of these guys or gals could be president. We're in a very trying time. No military experience, no veteran. And, I mean, he really looked last night like he was on Saturday night, like he was overmatched. Is that accurate?
Well, it's really tempting when you come out of Virginia politics to get into the rough and tumble. I've always done that my whole life. But I think that this morning what I would prefer to do is to say the following things. I'm the candidate at this point who is inclusive. You may remember, John, that when I was the governor, I was very inclusive with people. When I was the attorney general, I stopped the burning of African-American churches across the South. I brought people together when I was governor to push the state forward. And there's some of our candidates are not going to be capable of doing that. They're trying to be exclusive. I'm a person who actually has real experience. I'm not a first-term, inexperienced senator. I've been a chief executive of our state in Virginia, and I think that's very, very meaningful. I'm not a candidate out there who really doesn't know what they're doing with no military experience. None of the other candidates have any military experience. Virginia is a military state. They're full of veterans and active duty people who vote in Virginia, and they care about somebody who's actually served with them on behalf of the United States of America. I'm the only candidate that has done that, and that's why I think I'll get the vote in Virginia for the Virginia primary.
Hope to be the favorite son candidate of Virginia?
Well, I think it's a real opportunity for the people of Virginia to have a favorite son. We don't typically get to participate in national politics because of the one-term governorship. But despite that, I'm out there swinging for us and out there fighting for us and with Virginia values, which I think are American values.
Now, Governor Christie keeps making the point that Governors have to make decisions. Senators have to make speeches.
Well, I think that's correct. I think that the candidate ought to come out of one of the governors or former governors, and that's where I think the people of the United States would be more comfortable. But also, governors have to actually have the real experience and integrity to be able to run the country. Mm-hmm. I noticed, for example, that you remember I've mentioned I was during the Cold War stationed in Germany as an intelligence agent.
Yeah, I saw that movie, Bridge of Spies.
I was the guy that was in the overcoat. Well, but I have the actual experience of having been in the military and served during the Cold War. So, for example, you mentioned Governor Christie when he said that in Syria we just do a no-fly zone and shoot down all the Russian planes. I just think that's not a really experienced, responsible way to address national security.
Right. And we're also going to shoot down the North Korean missiles before they launch, right?
Oh, my God. Well, the main thing is you're going to have some – this is no time to put an amateur in the White House. No time to put an amateur in the White House. You have to have somebody with real experience and background with a responsible and aggressive foreign policy.
Sounds like you're campaigning for Hillary Clinton. She said got to put somebody with experience in the White House. No, I'm just kidding there.
Not that one, though. Look, the real challenge that I see today is that the Democratic Party is continuing with this march to socialism. And I don't want to overstate the case. If you just ask Bernie Sanders, he'll tell you.
Yeah. And you have a socialist versus a recidivist.
Yeah,
That's the Democratic
But meanwhile, over on the Republican side, we have an obligation to offer sound, conservative, responsible principles for the people of this country. I'm the candidate who has actually served in the military. I'm the only veteran. I'm the candidate who cares about gun right issues. I'm on the board of directors of the National Rifle Association. I'm the candidate who's had actual experience, including being a war governor for the state of Virginia during the time of the attack on the Pentagon, which is in Virginia.
Yeah.
So I have that experience and background. I've served overseas for this country, and I chaired the National Commission on Terrorism for the United States of America for 5 years. So I understand these issues in a way the other Republican can't.
Governor Gilmore, how should we respond to this North Korean threat now, this additional threat with missiles? How should we you alluded to it, but specifically if you were president, how would you be responding?
I think that a presidential leader is going to have to start talking to the people of the United States about the nature of the danger. And we don't want to overreact, but we don't want to send the message out there that we're going to be ineffectual, weak, and allow other countries to develop the ability to strike us with missiles or with nuclear weapons. That is not a good approach, and I think the United States has to build up its military in order to be able to take whatever action is necessary. Now, John, I'm not a neocon. I don't believe in sending the American army every place to occupy every place and try to take over countries all the time. But I do believe we have to have the military capacity to shape events. I'm also not an isolationist. And I think that the president is behaving that way, and it's creating great danger. And so the North Koreans are emboldened. I think the time has come to put some restraints on them.
Final question, Governor. In the event you're not the 2016 Republican nominee for president, would you consider a run for U.S. Senate in 2017 against Tim Kaine?
Well, that's nice of you to say, John. But my focus is on being the president of the United States. If you look at the field on the Republican side, you look at the field on the Democratic side, Virginia has produced somebody through experience and background that's in a position to actually run the government and be the president. That's my focus. I intend to be the president. That's why I'm on the ballots in New Hampshire and in South Carolina and Florida and Virginia, Tennessee, North Carolina, Massachusetts, Rhode Island, Idaho. That's why I'm on those ballots, because I'm fighting for the nomination, because I'm fighting for my country the way I always have. I've always been a person that tried to protect and move Virginia forward. I want to be a president that will protect and move America forward.
Governor Jim Gilmore, thank you for being with us today.
The next president of the United States.
Well, let's make it happen, guys.
Your website.
I accept your endorsement.
What's your website?
GilmoreForAmerica.com. I would appreciate people going to that.
Gilmore for America. Vote Gilmore for America.
GilmoreForAmerica.com.
You want to check for that? That's really good.
Feel free
Gilmore.
to use it.